Since the first business flights in the late 1920s, business aviation has provided thousands of companies of all shapes and sizes the flexibility, reliability, and privacy to do more in less time than other transportation alternatives. Business aviation is a lifeline to communities with little or no commercial airline service. Today, in the United States alone, it contributes $150 billion to the economy and employs more than 1.2 million people. And business aviation has always been known for giving back to the community. Because business aircraft can reach disaster sites on short notice when airliners and sometimes even automobiles cannot, business aviation is uniquely suited to providing a first response to natural disasters and other emergencies. Some examples of business aviation's emergency and humanitarian services include bringing relief to earthquake-shattered Haiti and offering empty seats to cancer patients and bone marrow recipients traveling to medical facilities. In a war fought far from our shores, we often forget the dangers undertaken by our men and women in uniform.
Left a little further down. How far do you think we are, John?
Imagine waking up every day without one of your limbs, with severe burns, or even being paralyzed. For nearly 33,000 American veterans of the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan, these realities will be with them for the rest of their lives.
We have fantastic medical operations out on the battlefield, but the byproduct is we've got a lot more young men and women missing arms, missing legs, and severely burned. And for them to go ahead through the normal commercial aviation process with metal prosthetic legs, with metal shrapnel in their body, it's very, very inconvenient.
I had my 46th surgery 2 weeks ago. They left all the shrapnel in my body. They stopped counting at 300 pieces of my rifle. And I spent a year in the hospital learning how to talk again and walk again. And I mean, obviously I set off the metal detectors. Now there's the new x-ray machines and there's questions, what's that, what's that? Sometimes it's an inconvenience, sometimes it's just an embarrassment. Because then I'm stereotyped by other passengers because they don't know my story.
Since 2007, Universal Weather and Aviation has donated its business aircraft and people to help transport veterans with devastating injuries to Impact a Hero weekend. The event is a special 3-day celebration held annually the first weekend in June in Sugar Land, Texas, that includes a 5K run, walk, wheel. A sporting event, a Hall of Fame gala dinner, and a golf challenge. All to welcome home and honor the young men and women who put their lives on the line for our country and paid a tremendous price. For Impact a Hero 2010, Universal helped Marine Corporal Ronnie Porta and Army Sergeant Joel Tavera take a well-deserved break from their stay at Brooke Army Medical Center, where they've lived for more than 3 years since being injured, so they could attend this inspiring weekend event.
A number of these wounded veterans would have no other means of traveling to and from Houston to attend. It's just too difficult for them with the extent of their injuries from a comfort level to go via airlines or drive or any other means. So the private use of the plane and the convenience that it affords really helps enable that process, and really they appreciate it very much because they wouldn't have been able to attend.
My body's tired of having surgeries now. Over 100 so far. When somebody's new and has so many injuries, going to the airport, going to security, everybody's looking at you like if you have something like a disease or something, and I don't like that.
And when I saw one time my buddy had to take off his right leg, put it on the conveyor belt to go through the scanner, and then he had to hop with one leg through the human metal detector. That really bothered me, to see people that were less fortunate than me lose limbs, that had to endure that type of embarrassment.
This time, a lot different. Quicker, fun, more space for me. The hotel is awesome. People are really nice. They really, really love the military. There's no word to describe it.
Beyond getting these veterans and their families to Houston for Impact a Hero weekend events, it takes a huge team of volunteers to coordinate the event. Universal Weather and Aviation logistics specialists by trade step in each year to help by coordinating all ground transportation for the wounded veterans.
Universal became involved in this through some of the passion and dedication from some of our employees that learned of this program.
We maintain a VIP status and give them just a fantastic first-class weekend. And part of that is the logistics piece of it, moving people from point A to point B. And volunteers in organizations or companies like Universal Weather and Aviation, through the Knights of Columbus, through some churches around in the area, were able to get that done.
It was June 2007, so it was almost a year after I was injured. My mom, she came up to me and said, I signed us up for a trip in Houston. And I said, that's a horrible idea. Because really, I hadn't been anywhere but Brooke Army Medical Center. That weekend was the reason I was able to come out of my shell, I guess, really. It was the first time I had done anything. And it wasn't just one little thing, I did a ton that weekend. And of course I was exhausted when I got home, but it's got me where I'm at today.
Rick's a special friend. Universal and one of their pilots, they flew him to Cincinnati to an Impact a Hero event. And I picked him up at an airport, a smaller airport, so I was able to drive right next to the plane door. And Rick gets out, he's smiling. Anytime Rick now has to fly commercial, Rick drives. Rick drives in this afternoon. He would have been here Friday, but he's driving from New York. It's just too difficult for him. He still has some open sores. You know, people look at him anyway funny because his face is burnt. It's just something that he doesn't need to go through.
I mean, how many people get to ride in a private jet? First of all, it made me feel so special. And it made me feel like somebody gave up a lot to give me this. And it made me feel really good.
Business aviation support to wounded veterans is not limited to Impact a Hero weekend. Volunteer flights are needed year-round to help transport veterans to medical appointments as part of Operation Mend, a unique partnership that provides no-cost plastic and reconstructive surgery to military veterans injured in Iraq and Afghanistan.
You know, unfortunately, we have one business aircraft. There's only so much we can do over a 3-day period, but any other help from the community, from the industry itself, to help enable these veterans to be able to participate in events like this just boosts their morale. And it's really an incredible and quite a moving event.
We need the volunteers, we need the corporations, we need more planes. I challenge any aviation company or any corporation to step up like Universal and give of these resources that we need to fly these heroes so that they're not embarrassed, they're not made fun of. They went to serve like our forefathers have served. So they would fight for me and for you. So now it's our turn to fight for them.
If you would like to donate the use of your business aircraft, people, or resources to help support Impact a Hero weekend or Operation Mend, visit impactahero.aero or contact Universal at 713-378-8057.